Welcome to the Notary Educators with Kimmi Podcast. Hosts Kimmi and Jeff Nunnally, along with Alexis Franklin, share expert insights to help you launch and grow a successful mobile notary business no matter what state you are commissioned in. Learn how to become a top-notch loan signing agent and get answers to common notary questions. Explore our all-inclusive $47 monthly training library, plus live weekly online coaching sessions with courses on general notary work, wedding efficient services, remote online notary, ink fingerprinting, apostille, translation services, and I-9 completion. Notary Educators, LLC is your one-stop shop for notary training. Tune in to the Notary Educators with Kimmi podcast and subscribe to the Notary Educators with Kimmi's YouTube channel also for more tips. Take your notary business to new heights.
Kimmi Nunnally, what's up, what's up? Hey guys. So, for those of you who don't know, I am a notary educator and I do just that. I educate you about the notary business. All things notary, how to properly execute your documents, how to make money in this business, how to be sustainable. You don't want to be a one-hit wonder. So we'll talk about that a little bit today. What is a one-hit wonder in the notary space? We'll talk about that. And today we are talking about, too, how we have to know what we are doing out there. We have to know, guys. You have to know how to stamp that paper. Stamping the paper correctly equals cash. Okay? You often hear me say questions equal money, but knowing how to stamp the paper correctly will also lead you to money and the wealth that you're looking for. If you don't know how to do your notarial duties, you have no business doing business. So I have a story, kind of sort of. It's really an email that I received, and many of you may have received it too. So we'll let YouTube do what it does. Invite everybody to the room. Invite everybody to the room. What is going on? What is going on? Welcome, welcome. Hey guys. So if you have questions, do not be shy. Now is the time to get your answers. I'm live here in the flesh. I am live. Welcome to those who will watch the replay, the podcast, etc., etc. Hey, Table Talk, let's talk. I love that. Table Talk, let's talk. What's up? Let's talk, let's talk. Today we're talking about the notary business. I'm going to go ahead and get started, and then those that are joining later can always, watch it from the beginning, catch up, go back and get the replay, whatever. So let's talk about it. So I received an email, and many of you may have received the same email. I don't know, but as I'm talking about it, you'll probably be like, I got that too. So I got an email just recently, myself and Jeffrey, because my husband is a signing agent also, if you didn't know. And I'm in Georgia, so they say don't call yourself a signing agent. Notary, signing agent, whatever words you want to put in there, we are that, okay? Since your call may be recorded, if you know what I mean. So I'm a notary in the state of Georgia. But I teach nationwide, all 50 states. I'll tell you a little bit about our teaching program shortly. But we received an email and it said we are having some quality control issues. Quality control issues with documents. And I was like, uh-oh, here we go again. Now, maybe every 3 to 4 months, there's some company that's going to be sending out a quality control email. And within that email, they're saying, hey, these are errors that are happening with our documents, and basically it needs to stop. Some companies say that they won't work with you anymore. Other companies will say that they won't work with you for a certain amount of time. Other companies will deduct your money if you don't know what you're doing when it comes to notarizing these documents. So it is serious, guys. It really is. I'm not making this stuff up. Okay. So when I talk about being a one-hit wonder, I'm going to tell you some of the things that were in the email. But when I talk about being a one-hit wonder, that's somebody who has a song and it went popular. You can all think of some group that you liked and it's like, dang, that's the jam, right? And then 6 months from now, you don't hear from them again. 10 years from now, you don't know who they are. You're like, oh, I remember that. Hey, Ingrid, what's up? She said, hi, Miss Kimberly. Hey, honey. So you don't want to be a one-hit wonder in the notary space. That means you stamp one set of documents, you jack it up, they don't call you no more. Okay? That happens all day long because people figure, well, I can just wing it. I got it. I kind of know what I'm doing. I think I know what I'm doing. And they really don't know what they're doing. So then you become a one-hit wonder in the notary space. Okay? You got that one signing. Yes, we good to go. But then guess what? You're not getting any more calls. The phone has stopped ringing. And you're like, why aren't I getting any more calls? Well, you probably did something that you shouldn't have did with the first set of documents they trusted you with, right? And a lot of times I'll have notaries ask me, well, Kimmi, how do I know if I did a good job or not? The signing company didn't tell me. Guess what? If they're not calling you after you did an assignment, 90% of the time it's because you did a great assignment. If they're blowing up your phone, something went wrong. They need scan backs. You forgot to send them, or you forgot to get initials. You got to go back out there. Okay? So we have to be really clear on when is it good to give feedback and when is it not. Because you do not want them reaching out because you made a mistake. Okay? And most of the time, if you did an excellent job, they're not going to be reaching out. That's just facts. Hey, Lori W. What's up, girlie? How are you? They're not going to be reaching out. Okay? So, we have to know what we're doing when we're stamping these documents. We have to. There's no way around that. So what the email said, I'm going to give you some specifics. It said that we noticed that you are missing initial lines on the documents. Okay. So they're in the instructions. It's not going to always say initial the documents. It's just not. It's not crystal clear everything that you need to do. So I have a lot of people try to avoid training or try to avoid mentorship. And they say, well, I'll just get the instructions from the signing company. And they think that's going to be sufficient in order for them to execute a package. And it's not, because every signing company does not include instructions, right? Now, some of the ones that have been burned a lot, they are sending instructions out. They will send you 10 pages worth of instructions because they already know you're not taking any training. You don't know what you're doing. So they want to make sure their documents are executed correctly. So in that case, they are sending out 10 pages worth of instructions. Now, I'll be honest with you. Those type of companies that sending out 10 pages worth of instructions, I don't prefer to work with them because it's too much stress for me. I'm like, oh, goodness. I know how to execute a package, okay? If it's a couple little weird things in there, yeah, tell me about that. But you got to tell me line by line. I'm like, I don't want to work with you. But they're doing that for the people who really don't know how to notarize and who don't know what they're doing. Let's get a comment here. If you have anything you'd like to add to this comment, this particular episode, please feel free, okay? Cynthia, welcome. Cynthia's in Texas. We got a lot of people in the group in Texas. Cynthia says, make sure all nursing home clients are coherent and are able to communicate with you. Just had one today that I had to turn away because the patient was not coherent at all. Yeah, it happens, Cynthia. It happens. That's actually what we teach in training. Did you screen your client, Cynthia, prior to going out there to the nursing home? Because you might could have saved yourself a trip. Did you screen your client? That's an excellent tip, too. Excellent tip. Excellent tip. So something else that was in the signing, that the email that I received from the signing company, where they're saying quality is a problem. They mentioned initials not being completed. Not double checking to make sure the client even signed all the documents. We're missing signature lines, okay? When I say we, that's y'all, because I ain't doing that. I just put myself in the crowd, you know what I'm saying? Not that I can't make a mistake. Girl is human, right? But I'm just saying, we're missing basic stuff. Basic stuff. So if you have your notary commission, you still don't know what to do, you out there trying to fake it till you make it, you probably need to be in mentorship with us. You do. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the mentorship program, but I really want you out there executing documents like a pro. And how do you know you're a pro? Because they're going to call you and give you another signing. We have one person that is in mentorship, and she was getting signings and taking the lower paying ones, and all of a sudden she just started getting higher offers. Why? Because they already know they don't have to pay 3 different notaries to go complete the one signing. So that's what happens in a nice way when they say we're having quality control issues. That means they had to pay 1 notary to go out there. They messed it up, right? Number 1 notary, because they were trying to be cheap, the signing companies, right? Trying to save a little money. So they call it cheap notary. The one just getting started that's going to take it for $20. Then they had to call the next notary, right? They call another one. So that's why they got to keep saving. They got to keep saving a little money. Got to have a little kitty because they got to pay 3 different notaries. So the first notary messed it up. Second notary messed it up, and then they got to call me, right? Or they got to call the notary that's a pro. So when they call that notary, it's not going to be $20. It's not going to be $30. So that's why they can't afford to pay the first notary all the money, because they already know they got to get it done 3 times. Now, if you think I'm joking, I'm making this up, we talk about it in mentorship all the time. I'm the third notary. It's like somebody getting married. First wife ain't go right. Second wife ain't go right. Got to try 3 times. Okay? Same thing with your documents. They try 1 time, 2 times, 3. Third time is a charm. So they already know when I call Kimmi, I got to get my money together, because she ain't going out there for $20. Okay? Grip says, better to be thorough than fast. Yes. Better to be thorough than fast. And that's what a lot of people do, actually. That's what a lot of people do. You know, they figure, well, let me go ahead and be fast so I can get in and out and make my money. No. You got to take your time. The speed will come. Once you start doing a few packages, the speed will come, and that's how you're going to really make your money. If you charge $100 for a signing, let's just say $100, and it took you 2 hours or 3 hours to get through that signing, you've not really made any money. Okay, $100 sound like a lot, but you was there for 3 hours. So now you're at $33 an hour. When I take $100 signing, I want to be out of there in 20, 30 minutes. Now I've made some money. You see the difference? So time is money. Time is money. Right now we have somebody going out on a signing tonight. And I asked him, I said, hey, did you screen your client to let them know that the expectation is for the document to be completed prior to you getting there? Because if you charge them $75, $80, whatever, and then you're only supposed to be there like literally 10 minutes. General notary typically takes about 10 minutes, 15 with chit chat, right? If you know what you're doing. But if he don't screen them and now the document's not completed, I think it was 3 or 4 pages. Somebody here might could correct me. It was 3 or 4 pages in the picture that he put. So that being the case, now you're costing yourself money, because you got to sit there while they fill out 4 different documents. And most of the time they going back and forth with somebody else. Hey, what should I put here? What should I put there? I'm not sitting there while you doing all that. Your document needs to be completed. When I get there, I'm IDing, signing the journal, collecting my money, and we are out. Okay. Cynthia said, yes, I did. So she said she did screen her client. Everybody was on deck until she got there. Oh my God, it happens. Hey Lisa, how are you, mi amor? How you doing? It happens. They like, yeah, mom is alert, dad is alert. You walk in the room and the person like slumped over. It's like, yeah, that's not gonna work. So I try to be very clear when I'm setting that expectation, you know, and make sure you're asking the right questions. I'm telling you, got to make sure you're asking the right questions. Is Mr. Smith alert? Does he know what he is signing? Okay. Because they will get you in those nursing homes, get you in those hospitals. And next thing you know, the document is not being signed. You done wasted your time, their time, everybody's time. And especially my time. I'm not too concerned about their time. If it's their situation. You understand what I'm saying? Cynthia said, you ain't making this up. I know, girl. I'm trying to tell you. I work in these streets, okay? Everybody on this Zoom, live, wherever we at, they can tell you I'm actually a working notary. Cynthia, okay, Lori, yes, Lori, like and subscribe, guys, please. Thank you, Lori. Like and subscribe. Yeah, I ain't making this up, honey. You cannot make it up. This is real talk. And if you out here in these notary streets, you know exactly what we're talking about. So Cynthia says, I've been doing general notary work since 1996. Wow, you a pro, Cynthia. And loan signing since 2019. Wow, good job. Yes. Lisa, Lisa saying, hey. She said, yep, but I did get the travel fee though. Yes. So that's something you can do too, right? You can ask for the travel fee. And typically they'll offer. They will offer. Now, I've had a few situations where mom or dad wasn't alert. And I'm like, I'm not going to charge them for going out there because I might have to go back tomorrow and I'm just being nice. But most of the time, people will offer to even give you something. Like, for example, we had one last month. It might have been 2 now. Jeff went to do a signing. I sent him to do one. And let's be clear, he don't work for me, y'all. He don't like when I say that. But anyway, I sent him to do a signing because I was doing something else. And next thing I know, the job was, I think, for like $60. I think it was 60. And the lady Zelled me 30 because it comes to my number. And I was like, where's the rest of the money? So he called me. He said, hey, did you get the 30? I said, yeah. He said, well, I'll talk to you when I get home about the rest. And I was like, okay, what happened? Why is it only 30 when I know it's supposed to be 60? You know, even though it was like right up the street, it was less than 5 miles. And I think they were not repeat. I remember the situation now. They were not repeat. Anyway, so he goes up there, then calls me and say, hey, did I get the 30? I told him I got it. He got home and everything. And then that's when he told me that he couldn't sign because mom refused to sign. So especially with your wills, your power of attorneys, your healthcare directives, you got to make sure. That's all part of like estate/trust packages, guys. If you don't know how to do those, you need to look at my estate/trust course. I do a deep dive into that, okay? And or you can get the course individually or as part of mentorship, which I'll tell you about that shortly. Let me get Cynthia's question. I'll tell you a little bit about mentorship. But let me wrap this up really quick, then I'm gonna start getting the rest of your questions. So back to that email though about quality. So you better best believe that these signing companies are double checking our work. Okay, when you do a scan back, for those of you who do not know, when you do a loan modification, a refi package, seller's package, buyer's package, whatever it is, a lot of times they want you to do what's called scan backs. Now, a lot of notaries push back and don't want to do scan backs. Scan backs is when you're sending back a copy via typically your scanner. Okay, you're scanning it back. Back in the day, it was called a fax machine, but now you're scanning the document. Most of the time, you have your portable scanner with you. You can check my notary supply list to see what I have if you need a scanner. But because I'll say, well, Kimmi, what kind of scanner? Check out the notary supply list. It's completely free under resources. Okay, and they want to look at what the documents look like before you leave the table. So sometimes now they're like, do not leave the table until we look at the documents, because they're getting so many errors and they can't afford to keep getting all these errors. So they're like, you know what? Part of your assignment is you can't leave the signing table until we approve the documents. Now, I took one job like that. You better believe I didn't take another one, because I didn't like that. I'm like, if these documents are right, I need to go. But they have to do that because the majority of us are out there notarizing and we don't know what we're doing. It's just facts. It's just facts. Okay? So your girl wouldn't tell you this if it wasn't true. So they will tell you in the instructions, do not leave the table until scan backs are approved. Okay? Now, if you're just starting out, I want you taking those kind of assignments because you need the feedback immediately too. You need to make sure that you're doing it correctly. Now, if you're a Notary Educators program, you should be doing what we're telling you to do, and you're going to do it correctly, okay? Now, if you decide you're going to go wrong and do it how you want to do it, that's different. All right, so that's my spiel on that today, what happened with that email, okay? So the point is you want to take training, mentorship. Our mentorship program will prepare you. Our loan signing course will prepare you. The estate/trust course will prepare you. Then we have the live sessions weekly that will prepare you, okay? Then you're with like-minded people in our mentorship, in a private community group, okay? You're in with like-minded people. So let's see. Cynthia says they didn't offer. I had to speak up. So we were talking about Cynthia's client. They couldn't sign the documents and they did not offer to pay her a travel fee. Cynthia, I understand, girl. So sometimes you still got to be like, oh, yes, Mr. Smith, that'll be $30 for my travel fee today. So there's nothing wrong with asking for the travel fee. It's not. And it depends, again, on the circumstance. I don't always ask for it. Most of the time, my people will have offered. And I had one guy, I was supposed to go and do a oath only signing for him. If you don't know what that is, check out my video. I have 2 on this channel, I think, about an oath only. It was literally that. I was hired to go out and do the oath before he had to appear in court. That's a job, guys. You get paid for that. That's a part of your notarial duties. And anyway, he had to cancel the appointment. So he still sent me over, I think it was $35 or $40. He didn't send the whole appointment money, but he knew I had blocked that off on my schedule. So yes, it's nothing wrong with you asking for, it's nothing wrong with you asking for a travel fee, okay? I don't think I would ask for the whole fee because you didn't do the work. But then too, you did schedule that appointment. So that's going to be a business decision. That's going to be a business decision. A lot of times, me and other people I know, we're about the relationship. Okay? I'm about the relationship. I want the relationship to last. So I want that client to call me again. I want them to refer me to other people. So I'm not always, like I said, a nickel and dimer where I'm like, you got to pay me $2 for this, $4 for that, $5 for this, $7 because I smiled at you, $8 because I put my flower in my hair. You know, I don't do that. Okay. Cynthia says the agent seemed to be coercing him and she was a friend. Side eye alert. What? Oh yeah, I ain't feeling that. Nope. Nope and nope. No go. No go. Feliciano, what's up? What's up? Florida is in the house. We have a lot of Florida people in the group too. So you just started. Congratulations. Feliciano, what are you going to focus on? Loan signing, general notary, what's your goals? What do you want to do with the business? GG Solutions, what's up, girly? Did you finish filling out the application today? You know me, you crack me and Jeffrey up, girl. GG Solutions is in mentorship. Did you finish filling out your application? You're going to like working with them, okay? And Grip says, some notaries don't understand what an acknowledgement and an oath is. They're putting names on the wrong lines. Yeah. All of that. Somebody told us a story here in the live yesterday or the day before that their client saw the word print and they thought they had to use a printer instead of print their name. I thought that was the cutest thing ever. So, you know, it happens. Feliciana said they want to do both. Okay. Oh, Gigi got approved. Okay. I did her application. Okay, cool. Great job, girly. Great job. Feliciana, so you want to do both. I finished my loan signing training and my online notary training. Great. Now, what have you done for just basic training? Like acknowledgments, jurats, like we were just talking about. Acknowledgments, jurats. Oh, how to fill out your journal, how to price your services. Have you built out your business step by step? Are you able to take payments? Have you did all of that part, Feliciano? I know you just started, but if you have not, you need some assistance. I'm going to give you a couple of resources really quick. The first one is going to be, bam, start your notary business in the state of Florida. So I got one for every state, actually, but since you're in Florida, this is Georgia, Indiana. And, of course, Florida is yellow. Booyah! So you might need to check out this book, okay? But it takes you step by step how to build your business, how to build out your business, okay? Literally step by step, okay? It's one for every state. Everybody got their own book. Now, I also would recommend after you look at this book, because what the book does is it gives you a nice overview of what you can do in the business, okay? A nice overview. Then you double back and join the mentorship program. Now there's 2 points of access. We are seriously considering a third. And while I have you all here, let me know what you think about the third entry point. So right now, we have a $27 entry point that has like 5 courses and a whole slew of extras. So you can check that out. You even get to come to the live trainings. We all meet together once a week, every week. Then you got the $47 where it's all in. You get all the bells and whistles. Everything is included. And that's $47. I'm thinking about a $17 entry point. And that's going to be for my people that are really just needing to get started. Like, I know I want to do everything. My budget doesn't allow for the whole $47. $17 entry point. And what that looks like is a couple of core courses that you still need to get that foundation. I'm never going to just give you junk. And that's why I can't lower the price any cheaper than that. Because I'm giving you a great course. Notarize like a pro, I'm thinking I'm one more solid one, and you have access to all the replays that the $27 membership have. And you also, for $17, can come to the weekly sessions, the live sessions that we do. Because I don't just open the sessions up to everybody because you won't know what we're talking about. And it's not fair to the people that's already in the group. If you just come, because that had been a question too. Some people wanted to just come. Feliciano said they like the $17 price point. Okay. I'm gonna work on that. I think that's gonna be coming soon. But right now your options are $27 or $47. You can always upgrade, downgrade. But you got to complete out the month, or you just pay for the next membership, whatever you want to do, okay? But everybody's going to be able to come to the live trainings, because that live training is what's going to get you from being a beginner notary to being a notary boss, like for real. The live trainings are priceless. They're priceless. I even get tips. We got several tips this past week. I was just like, okay, that's what that means. For example, somebody had a document and it had an editorial block M period. So if the person had even asked me, I might would have been like, I don't know. I'm going to figure out what it is now, because, that's just what we do. But fortunately, the notary's client had been a notary back in the day, like a long time ago. And that person told her the time went there. As you read in the block, that's why we always teach you to read the context too. So everything is not going to be crystal clear. Every notary block is not going to look the same. That's why people say, well, Kimmi, how can you teach me? I'm in Florida. How can you teach me? I'm in Michigan. I'm in Alabama. I'm in California. I'm in Texas. Because your documents are going to come from literally all over the world. When you start doing apostilles, I got a document right now I'm working on to go to Mexico. Okay, I do a lot of stuff in Panama, right? I'm a Georgia notary, but my documents come from everywhere. Your documents are going to come from everywhere. When you're in Florida, in Feliciano, and you see a document that comes from Michigan, you're going to remember me saying that. Now, are you going to know how to process it is the question. Okay? So where I'm located doesn't matter. What you need to worry about is how to process that document. Any document, okay? You can even do a piece of toilet paper. I got a video on the channel that can show you how to do that, okay? So that's what I teach you. Great foundation, okay? I will share the journals with you, and I'll take some of your questions. Just really quick, for those of you who do not know, I have 15 different journals. They are so pretty. Hardback and softback, okay? 15 you can choose from, so you can check it out at notaryeducatorsllc.com, okay? You can check out the mentorship over there at notaryeducatorsllc.com. Oh, yeah, look at there. Look at there. Look at there. That's cute too. Futuristic. We got the snow leopard, pink. We have red, orange, blue, black, marble, of course, orange, cats, dogs, horses. Yeah, we got some cute journals, y'all. Check them out. Check them out. No, they're not spiral. But what you can do, Cynthia, is you can get it. I would get the paperback, and you could just get this cut off and get it spiraled for like $4 or so at Office Max or something. That's a great idea. You can do that. Yep. You can just get the binding cut off of there. Yeah, this is not an option at Amazon. So I don't mail these out to you. Amazon mail it out directly for me. Okay. But that's a great idea though. I love it. See how each one teach one? When I say that, guys, I'm not just saying that for effect. Where them journals at, TT Shower? Oh, you haven't seen the journals? TT Shara, I don't remember saying hi to you either. I remember I saw you come in the group. Did I tell you hello? I saw you enter, but I don't remember saying, hey, TT Shower. I don't recall. You remind me if I didn't, but hey, TT Shower. So anyway, yes, the journals is 15 to choose from. And they're super duper nice. I'm going to show you right quick the inside. There's a place for you to put your signing company. Because, oh, you already have it. Cool. Oh, the song. Yeah, but there's a place for you to put the hiring/signing company, because a lot of times you forget, it's like, oh, who hired me? What company? Who owes me money? So I put that in there on the bottom. You got a place for your number of notary stamps, the travel fee, the state fee, so you can separate that. Whatever type of document you have on the bottom, you can put that in there. So the journal is very detailed. I love this journal. But of course, I created it. Okay. Now let's get back to your questions. And all of this we're talking about can be found at notaryeducatorsllc.com. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Great idea. Love the journals. Already have it. Was thinking of the song. What song were you thinking of, TT Shower? What song? And then we got William. Hey, William. How are you? Welcome. Are you a notary, William? So what questions may I answer for you all while I am here? What questions may I answer? So today we talked about the need for making sure our documents are notarized correctly. Oh, where them fans at? Not boots on the ground. Hey, Harzies. Hey, what's going on? I know, right? Where them fans at? Brand new. Okay. Okay, what state are you in, William? What state are you in? And I'll ask you the same thing. When I do my coaching, which I don't do a lot of one-on-one coaching anymore. Actually, I don't do any. We do group coaching now through the mentorship program. And that's going amazing. So I don't think I'm going to change that business plan. I'm just not. I have my own notary business too. For those of you who do not know, I'm not just a YouTuber, not just an educator here with Notary Educators. I have my own notary business too. So that's how everything got started. Missouri's in the house. Okay, so there is a book for you too. So check out the state of Missouri, how to start your notary business, okay? Every state has their own one. St. Louis with the arch, right? It's arch. But so what do you want to focus on? Loan signing, general notary, everything? What's up? Tell me. And we need more men in the program, so think about it. Harzi says, I got my commission in September, but have yet to notarize, Georgia. Why are you not notarizing anything, Harzies? I mean, what are you doing with the business? What are you doing? Feliciano says general notary work. Yeah, love me some general notary work. That's why you need to know about estate/trust. That falls under general notary work. Yes, like and subscribe, please. We would appreciate it. Please like and subscribe. Thank you, Lori. Lori is my ride over there. She be hanging out with me. I appreciate it, Lori. Feliciano, general notary work. Yeah. So whatever you're going to do in this business, I always say you need a great foundation, okay? You have to have a great foundation. Thank you again, Lori. You have to know how to properly notarize. You have to build out your business. You have to be able to accept payments. We go over all of that in training, actually. Notarizing, I can't charge at work. I would have to keep stepping out of the building. General notary also. Oh, no, we're not going to have you notarizing at work now and get in trouble. Can you do your business on the side? I just had someone ask me this question actually in Facebook. They were like, hey, I love your drive. I love your energy. How do you do it all? How do you do it all? Well, don't forget, guys, I don't have any children, one, okay? At one time, I was caring for both of my parents. And I see y'all comments coming in. I'm going to get your comments. But I was caring for both of my parents at one time. I've always had a job. So when I did have my job at the hospital, for those that don't know, I worked at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta for 8 years when I started my business. When I had my business, when I was working at the hospital, though, I did most of my signings and stuff on my day off because I didn't work every day. So I always had like at least one day off during the week, at least one. And then I would do my signings on the weekends and the evenings to get started. That's how I started my business, right? And it was so funny when I was starting my business, my brother asked me, he said, what you want to do with this new business you starting? Because he, knew I was starting a new business. And I was like, if I just do one a day, because that was right when COVID was starting. So I said, if I just do one notary a week, I think it was, or one a day, because I was trying to make $600 a month. That was my goal. Now, what could you do with $600 a month? Think about it. Could you do something with an extra $1,000 per month? An extra $1,500? Heck, an extra $500? Could you? Could you do something with $200 a month? Ask yourself. If it was just a freaking $100 a month, could you pay a bill with that? It could pay my cell phone bill with a little change left over. I got Xfinity, $60 a month, $64. So $100 a month could pay my cell phone bill. Me and Jeff both, that pay for 2 cell phones and maybe a dinner. How about that? Sound pretty good, huh? That's only $100. So imagine that times 30. Okay? One a day, $100. That's $3,000. Could you do something with extra $3,000 per month? But in my case, when I first started out, like I said, I was just trying to replace some money I was making at the hospital. My mother was living with me at the time. So for me, my schedule looks a whole lot different than the majority of people because we don't have children. I've lost my parents, and now it's just me and Jeffrey. So I don't have a lot to do but focus on my business. But even before that, I'm just really driven. So I would work. My friends would laugh at me all the time. I'm walking through the lobby at the hospital with my but in making appointments. So I don't play. I'm just that person. I'm like the hustler in the truest sense. I'm going to get it done. And I ain't taking no for an answer. I'm not that person. If you tell me no, I'm like, how can we make it a yes? You know, that's just how I roll. I've been like that since I was born. And the family I came from helped me out a lot too. We don't do no. No, we don't do no. It's like, how can I turn a no into a yes? How can we make this happen? So for me, I'm walking in the hospital. It'd be Sunday. And then my husband was a notary too. Don't forget that. So I ain't letting no money go through the house. Like past this house, it's stopping right here. So I'm calling Jeffrey. Hey, somebody about to call you. I'm at work making an appointment. Somebody about to come by here. Are you home? Can you do this notary? So you got to have a plan B, C, D, okay? Everything, A, B, C, D. Got to have some plans. So that's what I was doing. So I'm walking through with my earbud in my ear, making that appointment. I was like, hey, thank you for calling up at a notary. And my friends be cracking up because I'm like, let me call you right back, girl. I got to get this call. So I was able to do that, you know? So again, I don't play. When I'm passionate about something, even before I started this business, I had several people and they asked me, Kim, I know you got your notary stamp. Why aren't you doing anything with it? And I would tell them, I said, when I get ready to do anything, it's all or nothing. My husband will tell you that too. He said, you are 100 or 0. 100 or 0. No gauge, nothing in between. You either all in or all out. That's just how I'm built. That's how I'm wired. Let me get your comments. Let's see. We got Feliciano says in South Florida. Harzy says nothing and I can't charge it. Okay, we got that one. Getting your Florida book. Yeah, Feliciano, that's a great place to start. Marketing channels to sign up with. Can you expound? What are you asking, William? Marketing channels. I have marketing videos on this channel. If you're looking for marketing videos. Look like that little piece of hair sticking up. Is that what you're referring to, William? Because I have marketing videos right here, huh? And it's in the book. It's in the course. I mean, we talk about marketing, but you don't need to be marketing. See, everybody want to talk about marketing, and they don't know how to stamp the paper. I'm not talking about you, William. But that's why I always say what I do at Notary Educators is not sexy. It's not flashy. I'm not talking about marketing. I could talk about it all day long, and I will get you there when it's time for you to get there. But right now, based on what you told me, we need to know how to stamp that paper. Any paper. And then we can do the marketing. We don't have no business marketing and we don't know what we're doing. Now, I ain't trying to be funny. A little tough love. And this may not be for you. You may know what you're doing. But the average person do not know what they're doing and they're out there marketing. Everything looks pretty. I talked about this the other day. Your logo is looking fly, right? Your colors, your branding is on point, okay? You got the cutest flyers I ever saw. I be seeing some stuff, right? All your supplies are slamming. But you don't know how to stamp that paper? Don't be marketing out there. I'm telling you, do not market your business and you're not ready. People had a websites up. I mean, they had some beautiful websites. I'm like, good night. But you don't know how to stamp the paper. That's not the order. You gotta walk in order. You gotta do it in order. You gotta build out the foundation. You have to know how to stamp the paper. You have to know your notarial duties. And then we build on that. Build out the business. Ain't no need to market it and you don't know how you're going to accept their payment. You ain't got no receipt book. You don't have your supplies. No. We got to do this thing in order. And that's why I said a lot of people don't like to rock with me because I'm not telling you all that fancy stuff. I'm going to get to the fancy stuff, right? We going to get there, but you're not going there before you do the dirty work. There are no shortcuts. There are no shortcuts. You have to know how to execute the document, execute your papers, and then you can get to the fancy stuff. The fancy stuff is the flashy stuff. Like I love yellow too. I have brand colors. I have marketing supplies. You see my journal. Your girl don't roll where my stuff is ugly, but I don't need none of that. And I don't know how to handle the paper. I don't know how to notarize. Okay, that's why my first course that I have is Notarize Like a Pro. You have to notarize like a pro. And it is 60% off, just FYI. Coupon code is WIN2025, okay? All the courses are, if you want to buy them separately, coupon code is WIN2025. Okay, so let me know if that's what you were referring to. And I ain't mean to beat you up, but when I saw marketing and you just told me you knew, you ain't got nothing to market, baby. Ain't nothing to be marketing yet. Cynthia says, because all of the insane antics with signing companies, I've gone direct. And I've drummed up a lot of business that way. Yeah, I don't have any problem with going direct. I really don't. Sorry. I think going direct is good. I don't shut off signing companies. I still work with them every day. Because going direct, you got to go out there and get the work, sign. And you can get more of the money. You get more of the profits. That's fine. But I like all streams of income open to me. So I've got certain companies I work with. Certain ones I don't. Certain ones I know, okay, they send me a job for $100. I'm going to take it. I got other people direct, $175, $200. So I take everything. That's how I'm that business person. Okay, let's talk about that right quick. Because some people I'm only gonna leave my house if it's $150. Because YouTube told me $30 is not enough money. Somebody on YouTube told me 30 was too low. And why are you accepting a low ball offer? You mess up everything for everybody in the industry, right? That's what they say. Who is they? That's what they say. What Kimmi says is I take everything, okay? Because it all goes into the pot. If I do a job for 30, I do one for 50, I do one for 100, I do one for 150. What is my day looking like right there? Okay? That's how you make $300 a day. I take everything. Now, am I a little bit more pickier now at this point in my journey than when I first started almost 6 years ago? Yeah. It's certain things I'm just not doing. I don't have to because I've been doing this for a long time. Once you pay your dues, you don't have to do a $30 job for the rest of your life or a $50 job for the rest of your life. But just to get your feet wet, just to get the signing order count up, because they do look at the number of orders depending on what companies you sign up with. They're looking like, okay, even if it's a witness job, that counts toward an order. Okay, everything counts. So when you're first starting out, yes, I'm taking everything. I'm taking a $30 job. I'm taking a $50 job. And don't forget, I'm teaching my people right now, and I teach you too. You can counter offer. Just because they send out something for 30 don't mean you got to take it. Now, you got to be prepared if they say no. But just because they send it out for 30, that don't mean you got to take it. Excuse me? We're fully grown. Yes or no. Very simple. So a lot of times I'm teaching you to counter offer. Now, if you're just spanking brand new, you just got your commission yesterday, you got to sign it for $30, take the darn job, please, so you can get some experience. Now, do you have to take that again, like I just said, for the rest of your life? No, but just to get started. Even when I started, I wasn't taking the $30 jobs. I was like, I ain't taking that. YouTube told me I should get $150 for every signing. That's what I saw on YouTube. They told me I should get $150, and I'm not taking anything less than that. So 30 days went by, I wasn't getting no work, right? And I said to myself one day, I said, girl, these people blowing up your phone. Because when I started, I first signed up with my first signing company. The next day I started getting signings. That was the heyday, right? And I said, girl, they blowing up your phone. You're not taking nothing. You ain't got nothing, right? And you don't even know nothing. So I started taking those $30 jobs. Me and Jeff was knocking it out the box. You hear me? We was doing like 3, 4, 5 a day because they were long modifications. They were quick. Most of them was around the house, 10 minutes, 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there. So we was taking them $30 jobs, y'all. So $30 times 4 is $120. Imagine that. And everyday checks just rolling in. Just rolling in. Even though they were small checks, I had stacks of them like that. Because every day, so once you start, you know it's that 30, 45-day window. Some of them be 90 days. They take too long to pay. That's just facts. But the checks, once you start doing them, they start rolling. Boom, boom. Every day you went to your mailbox and you got $30. Can you imagine right now if every day you went to your mailbox and somebody gave you $30? Would you not be a happy camper? It adds up, guys. And that's 30 times 4. Because we was doing like 4 or 5 signings a day. We was knocking it out the boxes. Again, they were long modifications. And those are like 2 pages. Come on. So again, I ain't telling you to do that forever because you won't have a successful business. However, could you have a successful business? If you do if you do 4 $30, my example, 120 times 30 days is over $3,000 a month. Do you think that not made a difference in our life? Yes, it did. Remember, I only wanted to make 600. When I first started, I only wanted to make 600. And your girl ended up making at least that was 3,000 right there. So yeah, I was part of the heyday. It was good times, y'all. It was good times. And it's still good times. I've been doing this right here on YouTube for, I'm going into my 4th year, I think, on YouTube. 4. Nothing's changed. I'm still doing the same thing, y'all. Be consistent. That's why flashy don't always work. Hit the like button for me, please. Flashy don't always work. Slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race. Even with Notary Educators, there are certain things that I could be doing to take us to like the triple next level, right? But I'm going to always walk in excellence because I want to be able to get on here with a straight face. I sleep at night, okay? I know I've not sold you any junk, okay? I know everything I do with you is fair. So that's how you want to operate your business. Don't always be trying to rush to the top. And I ain't going to lie, I look at other people, I'm like, dang, that's super dope they doing this. I'm happy for them. And if anything, I'm not hating. I'm like, well, she's doing that, he's doing that. How can I do that? That's how I roll. I'm not going to hate on you. I'm going to figure out how I can be like you. Okay? So the point of it is, though, everything that glitters is not gold. And take your time in growing your business. Take your time. Learn the business. Learn the business. And you want to be here for the long term. You don't want to be a one-hit notary. Okay? You got one signing and that's it. Now what? New weave. I don't know what that is. Pay down the debt. Y'all must be talking about something else because I might have missed something. I don't know. William says, what drove you to change your security of having a job to betting on yourself? You may have already answered that question. Oh, that is a great question, William. I fell into the notary business. The short version, let me tell you. My youngest sister had cancer and we were going back and forth to Michigan. I actually lost her in 2019. So I had been a notary before when I used to work in the banking industry. Okay. I worked in the banking industry. So I had been a notary before, but when I went to Michigan with my sister, her friend came by the hospital and I'm a talker if you couldn't tell. So I said, hey, what you doing for work? And she was like, I'm a notary. I said, a notary? They pay you for that? She was like, yeah. She said, I go to people's houses. They come to me. I said, okay. That was around like October, the beginning of the month. That October, I came home the end of the month, I had my commission. I went down a YouTube rabbit hole and I'm looking for stuff on being a notary. And sure enough, I was like, this is a thing. People get paid for this. What? So anyway, I started doing my research, but I couldn't find anybody to give me no answers about nothing. So I started in October. I kind of put it on the back burner. I started watching YouTube channels and still didn't like get into it, even though I said, okay, people are making money because I just didn't have time. My dad was still sick. Then I had my mother living with me. Okay. So it was just a lot going on. I put it on the back burner. Then COVID happened. So during COVID, I had nothing else to do. Nothing. So once again, I'm like, okay, now what do I do? Because I like to keep busy. So I started going back down the rabbit hole with YouTube, watching about this notary thing. And I said, oh, this is a real, like really, really a thing, right? And by this point, I couldn't find nobody to give me no answers about nothing. I'm like, I know I live in an attorney state. I know people are making money. It's like secret. Ain't nobody talking about it. And it's been around for years. Notary is not new. It's been around for 6,000 years plus. So even in the Bible, check it out. People was recording property, recording deeds and stuff in the Bible, right? So we talking way back, but we just didn't know about it, right? We did not. So I said, I'm going to start telling people about it. So one thing led to another. My business actually started taking off. I went from only wanting to make $600 a month to, like I just told you, I was getting these signing companies. I found out the workaround. I said, oh, wait a minute. You mean I could do signings? They told me in Georgia I can't do them. What's up? So I figured out how to do it. So I learned my business though. I had nobody really teach me. I self-taught. I do have one person, I'll call him my mentor, that he did notarizations for my parents. And he's the one that kind of encouraged me. He's like, Kim, why you ain't doing nothing with your notary commission? I told you earlier, 2 guys. It was him and another friend of mine knew that I had my notary commission. I wasn't doing nothing with it. And I said, yeah, I'll get to it. I said, because when I go in on something, I go hard. And like I told y'all earlier, my husband's like, I'm either 100 or 0. I'm either hot or cold. I don't have a middle. I don't have a middle. So when I get ready to do something, it's going down. It's going down. I'm all in. It's going to be in excellence. Okay. And that's what happened. My mother used to say, girl, you addicted to that stuff. Cut it off. Cut it off. I'm walking around listening to this and listening to that and listening to this. And I taught myself. So that's why I always tell people, you can self-teach, but you got to be that person. Ain't that many people that's like me. Now, what I do is I take it, I can wrap it up for you in a bow and give it to you in 10 minutes and you be good to go. Okay? So anyway, the business just started growing and started growing. And I was like, well, wait a minute. I'm making just as much as I'm making at work. Could I make this a business? I'm questioning myself at this point. I'm like, could I really make it a business? And then I was like, the math is mathing. I mean, the money don't lie. I'm getting assignments. I knew my craft. People calling me direct. I was doing everything. I did loan signings. I still do. From signing companies, I have direct clients. Nursing homes was calling me because a lot of people in hospitals, and I was scared. I ain't gonna lie about that part. But I worked all through COVID, so I worked in the trenches, right? So that made me the notary pro that I am. I'm out there, like the other day, I was at a lady's house, and I had my clipboard, and I was on the floor, like with the carpet. I was sitting on the couch, but I'm bent over, and I had my clipboard. I had nowhere else to put my clipboard because I need a flat surface to stamp the paper. So she was kind of like, oh, I feel so bad that you have to be on the floor. I said, ma'am, this is nothing. I'm like, I've been in parking lots. That's why I encourage people to do general notary first. Let's get in the trenches, honey. Because if you can do general notary work, you can do anything. So I'm at UPS with my table out there on the ground doing this. I mean, that's why I usually wear pants. I don't usually be all super duper cute and stuff. I mean, I'm dressed nicely, but I ain't wearing no 3-piece suit out there because I don't know where I'm going to end up. So all that to say this, as my business continued to grow and I started telling other people about it, now I got another line of business. I had my own business, which was doing very well. My husband got his notary commission, so now we got 2 in the house. So if I couldn't do something, I'm sending him. So the business just started growing. It really did. And then I got my Google page together. That was my other turning point for my business. My Google Google page didn't have no pictures on it. It was dry as toast. But that was on purpose because I was like, I don't want everybody looking at me. I don't want everybody seeing where I live at. I don't want them knowing this. I'm trying to hide, but yet I want people to call me, right? So something said, and I talked about this the other day, I thought about realtors. And they have their pictures on everything. Business cards, postcards, flyers, magnets. They picture everywhere, right? And I was like, I'm going to put my picture on the page. So I put my picture. I started filming myself. I started doing little, hello, happy Sunday from None Better Notary. Just little 30-second videos. And my page came alive. When my page came alive, my business did too. Because people was like, oh, let me call the girl with the flower. Oh, I called you because I liked your smile. Jeez. Now, some people don't like my gap, but I like my gap. How about that? Okay? I like my gap. But anyway, so after everything just started growing, it started snowballing. And then from there, I got my whole business, which is doing well for my Google page. People calling me. I'm asking for reviews. I got almost 500 or whatever. Because I don't play. I ask every single person for a review. So I don't do nothing in my business that I don't tell y'all to do. I did it the long way, hard way. I ain't pay for nothing. I did ads a little bit just to see. And even now, if I run an ad, my business, it blows up. I accidentally ran an apostille ad a couple months back. And I started getting all these phone calls from apostilles. And I was like, I'm sure I'm getting a lot of calls. I thought it was because Angela, our old person that used to work with us and stuff, I thought it was because she was gone. So I thought I'm getting some of her business. And then I realized, I said, girl, you running an ad by mistake. So if you really want to get your business popping, run that Google ad. So anyway, long story shorter. After all that, people started asking me to help them to train. I'm like, I ain't got time to be training nobody because I'm trying to run my own business. And I was like, well, girl, everybody keep asking, you must know something. So, and I did. I knew a lot. So I started my YouTube channel, and I got books, journals, and I still got my very, very active notary business. That's why a lot of times you don't catch me here in the evening or right before I go out for a signing. So it's usually around 11 I'm live, or in the evening after I finish. So that's my story, and I betted on myself, like you said. And then don't forget, I have a husband, so my husband works. So it wasn't like everything was falling on me to make it work. And being fully transparent. So everybody's situation is different, but that doesn't change the fact that I had to be about it, because I was working a job. In order for this business to grow, I had to do it in the evenings and the weekends. So that don't change. Most of you are doing the same thing. So you got to always say, how many signings am I missing by being at work? Do I have an emergency fund? Am I really ready to do this? I always say, give yourself at least 6 months to see if you even like doing this. Do you like one of the people's homes? I personally don't. But that's why my screening questions are really tight. Do you have any dogs? Do you have any pets? Do you have any cats? I need to know all that before I go in the house. Okay, William says, so that's what drove me. And again, it's nothing like having your own business. Is it more work? Yeah, it is. It is. It's a lot more work. Yeah, I figured you were talking about marketing, William. Yeah. You don't need marketing, hon. And when you're ready, I got dozens of videos right here, okay? I really do. But first we need to know how to do the business. So I hope that answers your question, though. So that's why I betted on myself. The numbers worked in my favor. My business was thriving. It is thriving, my own personal notary business. In addition to that, I do train. So now my husband is full-time in the business with me. So he left his job about 3 years ago. Well, almost 4 now. We're coming up on 4. Almost 4 years ago. 3.5. Yep. Jeffrey left his job, so now he's full-time. He's a notary, signing agent. He does everything I do. Now, he's more on the technical side when it comes to Notary Educators, so people see him, but he's still working on that part because he don't like being on camera. He got that same thing y'all got. I don't want to be on camera. I'm like, you are the brand, homie, hubby, my dear Lord. You are the brand. I keep trying to tell him that. So, Cynthia says, great tip, how to make this happen. Yeah, that's what I did. I did it, y'all. And that's why I'm not above, he says I'm right. Yeah, so let's get the business built, William, and I can teach you how to market. I got a whole marketing course. I got 10 or 15 videos right here on this channel, how to market. So marketing is not, I can market like the best of them, but I already know ain't nothing to market until we get our business together, okay? So I got you. And Grip says, a notary in Virginia received a second signing from a notary in Texas. The file had 20 to 50 pink sticky notes. It was horrible, and dates missing, strikeout names, signatures in the wrong spaces. You see what I'm talking about? That's real life, y'all. And it happens thousands of times daily. There are over 4 billion documents, I believe is the number, notarized per year. And quite a few of those by newer notaries are incorrect. You have your old school notaries that know what they're doing. But even they don't know how to make it as a business. See, they don't know how to make it as a business. That's where we come in. Notary Business Success Mentor Program. Your business will be successful. If you work the program will work for you. Harris says, or Harzy, this is what is holding me back. I want to make sure that when I stamp in the right place, the right wording and such. You need to be in mentorship. William said, okay. No, I hear that. Okay, cool. I'm glad you still my friend. Cynthia says, I feel that I just hate chasing payments. Yeah, girl, that's the hardest part. Ooh, Lord. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Yeah, that part right there, waiting on the payments can be a pain. I ain't gonna lie. But, excuse me, when they start rolling through, then we having some good times. Let's see. You said you could do with 3 extra $600. So I said new weave and pay down debt. Oh, correct, Harzy. Yes, with $600 a month, people can get their weave done and pay down some debt. That is so true. Thank you. William said, what was it about having a job that got you tired? Lots of people have certifications, but don't have a why. Did you need to be your own boss? I have been my own boss before, actually. I had a daycare. I talked about this the other day. I had a daycare for 4 years. We've had a mobile detailing business. Anything we do, we're going to do it great. We had a carpet cleaning business, but my husband was working full time. So those were all truly side hustles. Because I was working at the bank or I was working at the hospital when we did those little side jobs. And that was just something I got into. It just fell in our lap. Jeffrey was really good at detailing our vehicles. And then we had friends start saying, this is how businesses start, guys. Then we had friends saying, dang, you're doing a great job. Can you do my car? So we had several people that brought their cars every week or every 2 weeks to get their car details. Same thing with the carpet. We had carpet cleaning. We had a Kirby. If you're not familiar with that, it's a very expensive machine. We had that. We still have it. We've had that machine for a very long time. But people would be like, dang, how y'all keep your carpet so clean? Who y'all calling out here? I want to use them. And Jeff would be like, it's my machine. I have my own Kirby. And that's how we started doing carpet cleaning. People would say, oh, so they would refer us. And that's the other thing about this business or any business you start. Once you start doing well, people are going to refer you. So a lot of my business is repeat. Or they told somebody about me. I heard about you from somebody I worship with. I heard about you from my family member or whatever, right? My neighbor told me about you. My son or my daughter used you. So Once you get your name out there, that's how you become the go-to notary. So it doesn't happen overnight. It does not. I'm not going to even act like it does. Okay, some people will tell you your business could be up and running in 30 days and you're going to make $10,000. Perhaps, but realistically, probably not. Probably not. You're probably, if you get everything up and running the way it needs to be, your Google page, your website, everything, within 90 days, I think you could be truly profitable. Less than that, but let's go on the side of caution. I'm going to say 90 because you got to learn the business. Then you got to grow out the business. You know, so many moving parts. So we can help you with all of that, though, via our mentorship program and the courses that we provide. You can look at the website and look at all the courses at NotaryEducatorsLLC.com and see how every course we have is designed to help you to grow, scale, and do all the stuff, all the things, okay? So it wasn't that I had to be my own boss to finish the question. That wasn't a problem. I probably needed to be my own boss because I am that person at work. I'm like, oh, you want me to do what? I always had a theory, and I might be wrong, and please don't take it the wrong way when I say it, but I've always felt and I've seen when people act like they need their job and they're all desperate at work and stuff, and you may need your job, and I needed mine. Every job I ever had, I needed it, right? That's why I went there. But if you act like you need your job, they will treat you like you need that job. You understand what I mean? They'll be degrading to you, talking down to you, condescending sometimes. It's like, oh, yes, sir. I got, Now I walk in the room. I'm like, what you want me to do? Now I'm going to do it for you. I'm going to do it in excellence, but you ain't going to be talking to me like you crazy. When I get ready to go home, I'm going home. So I always had a different bar set when it came to working. I didn't just take anything off of anybody. This is not my nature. This is not. I'm like, if I ain't feeling it, I'm out. I had 8 different jobs at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. I was there for 8 years at a different job every year. Because I have a low tolerance for stupidity and crazy. And life is short. I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm going to have fun where I'm at. So I roll a little bit different when it came to jobs. So I probably always needed to be my own boss. But I always say, even when you're your own boss, you're really not your own boss. I need to go too. You're really not I'm going to get the rest of y'all comments right quick. You're really not your own boss because I have to answer to my clients. I answer to my clients at None Better Notary, and I answer to my clients via Notary Educators. So they tell me what they want, what they need, and sometimes those don't mesh, you know? So there have been a couple of times I can count on one hand of the people that have been like, you know what? You got to go. We don't need to work together. Oh, guys, we got so many people. I hate to leave. Any questions? Really quick, let me stop talking and get y'all questions. Okay, so to answer the question, I didn't need to be my own boss, but I have no regrets that I am my own boss, and this is not my first time that I've been my own boss. Hey, Tyra. William, great questions. William, you think very deep over there, my friend. Feliciano says, I'll sign up for the mentorship. You won't regret it, my friend. You will not. Cynthia says, you broke me down, Kimmy. I'm going to be in mentorship. Girl, come on. You will not regret it. I'm telling you, things be happening in mentorship. I'm telling you. This week was so good. It was on Monday night. I'm about to put Monday session on YouTube, y'all. Monday session. I got to let y'all see what's going on over here. I'm sorry. Monday night was on fire. Monday night was on fire. So look for it. It's coming soon. Jeffrey's up there working on it right now. He's my tech person. He does my videos and stuff. So that video is coming out soon. So William said, sounds like you guys were consistent in whatever you decided to do. That is the key. That is the key. You have to be consistent. I wasn't going live tonight, and I'm so glad that I did. I'm so glad that I did. I had told my husband, I said, you know what? I'm feeling kind of tired, but my hair is done. I got on my lips already. So I said, you know what? Let's just do it. And I'm so glad I did because the conversations that we had today were so amazing. I'm so excited for you guys. I'm looking forward to working with you over in mentorship. Again, we have weekly live sessions. Our mentorship program is number one. It is number one. Now, can you learn something different with every single person? You can. I learned something different with every single person. But our mentorship program is thebomb.com. Okay, so check it out at NotaryEducatorsLLC.com. Feliciano says 10,000% self-employed for 10 years. Yes, that might be 1,000,000%. TT Shower says, yes, Cynthia, come and join us. We are all family, dear. Yeah, it took TT Shower a long time to come, but she finally made it to the program. Hey, Alicia, another member. She says, hey, Kimmi, I have a good benefits with my job, like health insurance, retirement plans. Is that something I can obtain the same as I have with my employer? Let's talk about that really quick, and then I'm going to get out of here because I really do. Oh, how many more questions we got? Okay, one more. Let me get Alicia's question right quick. So as far as the medical insurance, what Jeffrey and I do, because we both had the insurance has changed throughout the years. So back in the day, we only paid $200. If that had everything covered with a $10 copay, keep it moving right. Nowadays, insurance is not like that anymore. The average person, unless you work at the hospital, the average person, they have a high deductible plan now. Insurance companies are not paying what they used to. So we have a high deductible plan. We pay $200. No, we don't. No, we don't. Hold on. We pay $104 per month for medical. $104. We do have what they consider Obamacare, and that's just the name of the statute or whatever. But we have Cigna, Aetna. We have Aetna insurance, I think. We've been self-employed fully for like 3 years. The first two we had, first year we had Cigna. Last two we've had Aetna. And we just got to notice that Aetna is not going to be renewing in the state of Georgia for what we have in January. So we got to get something different. So that's what we do for our medical insurance. We have a high deductible plan, but my insurance broker, and you guys can reach out to me. I might put his number on the website. Yeah, Alicia, if you're really serious and need more information, I might could give you his number. But my insurance broker, because you can go in the marketplace and find it yourself, but I just didn't understand the marketplace. I didn't feel like trying to understand it. So somebody else has suggested get your insurance broker, which is what we did. And he actually found us these plans every year. So we have great medical. And he even has us with a rider policy through, oh man, what's the other company? We got a rider policy anyway. We pay $50 a month for that. And that covers the high deductible amount that we have. So that's what we do for medical. You also asked about retirement plans. You can set up your own retirement plan. We had them at our jobs. We both have one from each company that we were with. And then we're getting ready to start adding to that for tax reasons. Because I just had a meeting with somebody and they really suggest that we need to be putting something in there. If it's just $100 for each of us per pay. So we're going to start back doing that. But you can create your own retirement plan. And that's not matched dollar for dollar, of course. But it's something, okay? So those are the couple things I wanted to share since you asked. The knowledge of you and your husband helps us overcome our fears. Thank you. You're so welcome. I don't mind sharing that. And one day I hopefully can get him on here with me. But I told y'all he camera shy. He is the brand, y'all. He is the brand. There's a Christian bill sharing group called MetaShare. Yes, I'm familiar with them because when I worked at the hospital, a lot of people would bring in their insurance. And that is an amazing thing. I need to do a little bit more research on that, William. But the way to my understanding that it works is everybody just kind of put in there. And as you need it, you can pull out. If I need it next time, I can pull out. Your bills are covered or whatever. So that is an excellent plan. So thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. Alicia says, okay, yes, I want to talk more about it. Yep, we can definitely do that, okay? All right, guys, well, I do have to head out of here. Again, I'm so glad I went live tonight. I pushed through. A lot of times you're going to have to push through in your business, and it's going to be worth it in the end, guys. It's not easy. I'm never acting like it is. I work hard. But I enjoy every second of it, if you couldn't tell. Every second of it. So guys, I'm going to see y'all later over in mentorship or maybe here on YouTube in the next few days, and I'll be in touch. Bye. Much success to everybody.
Thanks for tuning in to the Notary Educators with Kimmi podcast. We hope you found today's episode helpful and inspiring as you build your notary business. Don't forget to explore our all-inclusive $47 monthly training notary library for more resources to expand your skills and services. Stay connected with us on YouTube at Notary Educators with Kimmi for even more tips, tricks, and industry insights. Be sure to subscribe and share this podcast with others who want to succeed in the notary field. Until next time, keep growing and learning, and take your notary business to the next level. See you soon! Don't forget, for all things notary related, visit notaryeducatorsllc.com.